This is what ruined my marriage. Don't anyone attend her wedding. Those words from my sister Melissa struck deep into my heart like a knife. I stood there in my pristine white wedding dress, but I felt as though I had just been severed from everything. The loved ones, the friends, everyone I thought would be by my side on this monumental day now turned into invisible ghosts. While I stood in the crowd, hearing the soft music play, my heart raced, but every sound seemed to be drowned out by the slander, the insults that I couldn't escape from my mind. My wedding day, a day I had dreamed of for so long, did not become a sweet memory, but a deep scar in my heart. I stood there, in my immaculate white dress, like an angel stepping out of a fairy tale. My hair was neatly arranged, my face lightly made up, but everything seemed blurred in my eyes. The spotlight shone on me, but I didn't feel any happiness. Instead, my heart tightened as I looked at the man I had loved. He was standing there, smiling happily, and I thought this world was perfect. But then, one word from my sister, not from her mouth, but from deep within my mind, pierced through the space, freezing me in place. The emptiness overwhelmed me. Every gaze from my friends, from my family, now avoided me. The people I had thought were close to me now sent me messages of blame, refusing to attend my wedding, refusing to wish me well. They believed the lies Melissa had spread, believing that I had ruined her marriage, that I had an affair with her husband, causing her life to fall apart. I couldn't believe what was happening. How could this be? How could my sister hurt me like this? I looked around, but all I saw was emptiness, coldness. My loved ones were now only shadows, with no one to offer me comfort. I stood there, in the middle of the wedding hall, surrounded by so many people, yet I felt as if I was alone, abandoned. The coldness in my heart made it hard for me to breathe. Those lies had torn everything apart, turning my wedding day into a nightmare. No one came to me in this moment, no one was by my side. I had been deceived, betrayed by the very sister I once loved the most in my life. Melissa and I, we were sisters, but our sibling bond was never built on love, but on silent, ruthless jealousy. Since we were young, she had always been the one to dominate the family. She was talented, always the center of attention and admiration. I, on the other hand, always felt like her shadow. Every success of hers was a reminder that I was never good enough, never beautiful enough, never strong enough. And whenever I tried to assert myself, whenever I wanted to try something new, she was the first to oppose me, overshadowing all my efforts. She didn't just want to be the best. She wanted to be the only one. And I never had the chance to live for myself. I was always the shadow, always having to live under Melissa's shadow, always having to do what she wanted. I loved peace. I just wanted a simple life, without fighting with anyone. But Melissa never let me have that. Every time I tried to step out of her shadow, I was pulled back, blocked by my own family. My family, the people I loved and thought would always stand by me, were easily manipulated by Melissa's words. She was always present in every conversation, always the one leading every decision. Every time I wanted to share something, every time I needed help, my family would listen to her. They always trusted her more than me, always looked at me with eyes full of doubt, as if I didn't deserve a place in this family. They believed the slander Melissa had spread about me without ever giving me a chance to explain. Every time I spoke, my words were immediately shut down. They never gave me a chance to prove my innocence. And my sister, she kept building a false story, making everyone believe that I had an affair with her husband, causing her marriage to fall apart. Even though I was standing on my wedding day, a moment that should have been the happiest of my life, I felt completely severed from my family. All the loved ones I had thought would be by my side now turned their backs on me. No one was there to wish me well. Instead, I only received messages of blame and accusations from the people I thought would always stand by me. The lies Melissa had spread had thrust me into loneliness, making me stand alone in the aisle, empty amidst the crowd. My sister, with her deceitful words, had ruined everything. I couldn't believe that my own sister could hurt me like this, at the most important moment of my life. It felt like I had been completely forgotten. The people I loved, the ones I thought would always be my support, were now just shadows, strangers. No one stood by me. No one asked me about the truth. No one cared about what I was going through, but only believed in Melissa's lies. I had become the one who was cast aside, forgotten on my own special day. The coldness in my heart that day was something I would never forget. Everything collapsed in that moment, and I, alone amidst the crowd, didn't know what to do, with no one to hold on to. 3 years of silence. 3 years I had completely cut off contact with my family. Those 3 years, I lived a new life, a life without Melissa and without the people I thought would always stand by me. Those were 3 years I struggled with loneliness, pain, and loss. But during those 3 years, I found healing from a kind man whose love helped me recover day by day. He wasn't just a lover, but a friend, a companion who helped me rebuild from the ruins. During those days, I learned to trust myself again, to love myself, and to walk with new hope. When I found out I was pregnant, the feeling was like a gift from heaven. It was a new beginning, a hope I had never dared to dream of after everything I had been through. The child growing inside me was not just a new life, but a testament to the strength I had to overcome the pain. I believed that with this child, I could start over, build a bright future, free from the shadows of the painful past. But then, not long after I began to feel the happiness of my new life, my family reappeared. This time, it wasn't a warm reunion, it wasn't an apology or any sign of regret, but a request that stunned me. Melissa, the sister who had betrayed me, who had pushed me into the deepest loneliness, now stood before me with no shame on her face. Melissa couldn't have children. The family asked me to allow her to be a part of my child's life, to be the second mother and make up for the pain of infertility she was suffering. I couldn't believe what I had just heard. What did she want? After everything she had done, after the lies, after the betrayal she had caused me, now she wanted a place in my child's life? And my family, the ones I had loved most, now wanted me to accept this request to heal the relationship, for us to find each other again? I couldn't bear it anymore. A tidal wave of emotion surged within me, as if all the old wounds were being ripped open once again. How could I accept this? How could I allow someone who had caused me so much pain, who had destroyed everything I loved, to enter my child's life? How could I let Melissa, the one who never thought of my feelings, never listened to me, enter the beautiful world that I and my child were trying to rebuild? That question echoed in my mind, and I knew I couldn't accept it. My child was everything to me now. It was the symbol of hope, of a future I had fought so hard to create. I couldn't let Melissa or anyone in my family step into that world, a world I had fought so hard to protect. My child deserved an environment filled with love and respect, not one where people who had hurt me so much intruded. Tears didn't fall, but my determination was like an unstoppable river. I couldn't let blind forgiveness guide me anymore. I couldn't let empty hopes take away the clarity of my boundaries. I had learned that forgiveness didn't always mean accepting the return of those who had caused me pain. I had the right to protect my life and my small family. And Melissa, there was no longer any place for her in my life. I would no longer accept silence. I couldn't continue living in the shadows of lies and betrayal. The helplessness I had felt for the past 3 years had kept me silent, but now, I decided I had to act openly. I couldn't accept silence any longer. I had been patient too long, endured too much, and now it was time for me to reclaim my voice, no matter how difficult the battle. The first step I took was to contact Melissa's ex-husband. He was the only one who knew the truth about what had happened between Melissa and me. He had witnessed everything, from Melissa's cruel words to the way she defamed me. After their divorce, he still held recordings, messages, and vivid evidence of the truth Melissa had tried to keep hidden. I knew he wasn't the type to stay out of it when the truth had been concealed for so long. We talked for hours, and I knew he understood. He understood that this was our chance to bring the truth to light. We began preparing everything we needed to make the truth clear. The recording where Melissa had admitted everything to her ex-husband, the messages she had sent him, all the lies about me were documented. I began to feel a new strength, as if I had found a flame to burn away Melissa's wrongdoings. When we decided to post all this evidence on social media, I knew my life would never be the same again. But I also knew this was the only way I could save myself and break free from the burden. The day the recording and messages were made public, I couldn't have imagined the reaction from the public. Instantly, a flood of support came my way on social media. Strangers, people who had never known me before, started speaking up, defending me. Everyone expressed their outrage and disbelief that his sister could do something so awful to her own sibling. The online community began sharing my story, condemning Melissa's vile actions. They spoke up in support of me, affirming that I didn't deserve to be treated this way. The feeling of receiving support from strangers was indescribable. It was like a cool breeze, blowing away years of pain and loneliness. I no longer felt alone. More than ever, I could feel how powerful the truth was. Melissa's lies could no longer persist, and now, not just me, but everyone knew the truth. And then, what I didn't expect happened. My family, the ones who had turned their backs on me for the past 3 years, now had to face the truth. I saw them, the familiar faces, the ones who had once been my support, now filled with confusion and shock. They couldn't deny the truth. They couldn't continue to cover up Melissa's lies. The people I had trusted, the ones I had loved, now stood still, unable to say a word. They didn't know how to explain themselves when the truth was so clear. Melissa had no place to hide. She was forced to be silent. She could no longer justify her actions. Everything had been laid bare in the light. She could no longer use lies to distort the truth. For the past 3 years, I had endured lies, silence, and betrayal. But now, the truth had been affirmed, and Melissa could no longer hurt me. No matter how shocked my family was, no matter how much they had to reconsider everything they had done, I was no longer someone who needed their forgiveness. Forgiveness may come, but I would never allow anyone in my family, especially Melissa, to step into my life again. I had learned how to stand strong, how to protect my life and my small family, and that I would never let anyone invade again. The truth can never be buried. It will always find its way to the light. And I, with the truth in hand, will continue my life, no longer living in the shadows. I don't need revenge. Over the past years, I've endured enough, and I understand that seeking revenge will only hurt me more. Forgiveness isn't always the right choice, especially when facing those who have hurt me so deeply. I can't forgive Melissa. I can never forget what she did, but I've decided not to let hatred rule my life anymore. Hatred would only keep me stuck in the past, unable to step out from the shadow of my wounds. I don't want that. Now, I focus only on the most important things in my life. I have a child, a small baby who is my new hope, my everything. It is through my child that I found peace again, those joyful days I thought I had lost forever. My child is my great comfort, the motivation that pushes me forward every day. I no longer want to look back at the past, no longer want to live in the ruins. My small family is the place where I feel peace, where I can live a life free from lies and shocks from the past. Some family members have started to understand what happened, and they've begun to realize that what I had to endure was too cruel. They've apologized, expressing regret for what they did. However, I can't easily forgive or accept their apology. I've learned that not everyone is worthy of my trust. How could I easily welcome back the ones who turned their backs on me when I needed them the most? Even if they say sorry or regret their actions, I can't forget the feeling of being abandoned, betrayed, and I don't want to live with doubt or insecurity again. I've decided to set clear boundaries with everyone around me. I will not allow anyone to cross the limits I've set. If they respect me, respect what I've been through and what I've rebuilt, they can stay in my life. But if they can't do that, if they continue to disrespect me, if they continue living in lies and deceitful actions, then they will disappear from my life forever. I don't need to seek revenge, but I won't allow myself to be violated again. My happiness and peace are more important than anything, and I won't let anyone, whether family or friends, hurt me again. What I need is real respect and love, not falsehoods or selfishness. My life has now started a new chapter, a chapter full of hope and light. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I just need to live true to myself, love my small family, and continue walking the path I've chosen. What would you do if you were slandered by your own family? Do you believe in forgiveness or justice? Like, comment, subscribe if you believe that truth is the only power we need.